Hey guys, this is Hannah, and this is my dad, John. He is the owner and founder of Fab Lab Express and a licensed orthotist. So, what we're doing here today is we are making me a new brace, and I thought it would be kind of fun to take you guys along with us. This is going to be an extra special brace because I get to make it with my dad. So, for those of you that do not know me, I was born with a clubfoot. And if you're not familiar with that, it's a deformity on your foot and ankle. And luckily, my dad was already in this profession, so he was no stranger to it. And my whole life, we did this right here. Every time I needed a new brace, he would prop me up on the kitchen counter and cast my leg and go to work and create whatever device I needed. So blessed is definitely an understatement. So I've been working with my dad for about a year now, but I'm no stranger to this industry. Like I said, he's done this since before I was born. So what you can see here is him casting my leg and then cutting it off of my leg. And as he pulls it off here, you'll see that it is a perfect replica of my leg, and he's going to pull that stockinette out there just to make our job easier in Fab. And I'm going to show you guys. For reference, this is my foot, and this is the cast after it's dry. So whenever we receive a cast from a customer, we get a work order like this, and for HIPAA guidelines, this is just a sample work order for myself, and it comes just like that. I highlight all the important information, and that way our technicians are, it's easier for them to see. And then I write anything important on the side of the cast, just like that. So it went to Fab, and we poured it up with plaster. And here I'm removing that cast and working on my leg. It's really funny being able to see my leg in front of me. So these blue X's that you see are some prominent areas, bony parts where we want to add a little bit of buildup before we lay the plastic. This allows a little extra room so that when I get swollen in those areas, I'm not pushing up against anything and causing any discomfort. So that's what we're doing here. And then we will do a soft glaze, which you'll see in just a second. And that is just to add a really smooth finish, kind of like a donut. So the purpose of this glaze that you will see us doing is to even out any dips or anything like that, just to give us a nice smooth surface. And then we will let that dry. And I will come back and I will rasp it really good. Just kind of take off all of the uneven marks that you can see here very quickly. And I sped up through this process because it is very time consuming. And then what you'll see here is wet sanding. Wet sanding is going to make it have a very smooth finish and make it look all done. Here I'm just filling in some cracks and crevices with clay. Now we are doing the foam liner. We chose P-Cell, just as a personal preference. And then next we are going to stretch a stockinette over to keep that plastic from fully adhering to the foam and melting it. And then we're going to cap it off, get it good and ready for a nice vacuum when we stretch the plastic. And then here we are. We chose white plastic because we're going to do tan leather. You don't want to do a dark plastic under a light leather because it can show through. And then here we are. I'm going to cut my leather that I measured previously to this clip. Now we are going to wrap this in cellophane to protect our leather, and I'm going to trace the shape of the foot. Then we're going to put plenty of glue down and put our foam on this little strip of leather. This is going to be our collar for extra comfort around the calf. And then here we are sewing on that tracing that I took. And this is going to be our back seam. We're going to fold this up now that the glue is dried. skive our leather to give us a nice smooth seam. And then I'm gonna glue everything. That seam cannot be standing up like that, so I'm gonna lay it down like this and get it ready. This is Clay. He is way taller than me and can reach to stretch the leather way easier, so he's gonna help me out here. I'm gonna cut away all that excess leather. This is gonna be our inner liner. Then he's gonna put the plastic down, place our collar, lots and lots of glue, and then our outer shell. Lay it down, get it super tight. And then after this, it's gonna have to dry for 24 to 48 hours. The longer, the better. Here, my dad is cutting off that dried AFO for me. And then we need some leather straps. So I'm gonna do that while I sew. It can be drying. I'm gonna follow down the trim line here. With lighter leather, it's a little harder because we don't like to mark up the AFO. Now we just pull back all the excess leather. Very carefully trim it off. We want to be as careful as possible. Now that those straps have had some time to dry, we're going to sew them. Here, my dad is going to sew in a soft tongue for some extra comfort. Now we're going to put on those leather straps, and then on the other side, we are going to attach the hook for the layover straps to stick to. As you can see, this brace is definitely a team effort. It is one of our most time-consuming braces as far as start to finish, so it's good to have some help. Here we're going to punch the holes in because I chose to have a lace up at the bottom of the brace. I chose laces at the bottom because it gives some extra support. What you see me doing here is putting the eyelets in the holes that I punched earlier. Now we're going to get some nice looking tan laces and put our metal caps at the end to keep those laces from fraying. This is my favorite part. We get to fit my new brace, and it fits like a glove. It is literally the perfect mold to my foot. It is so comfortable, and I love the color that I chose. So my dad is gonna lace me up really good here. Go ahead and lay down those leather straps. All right, and now for the true test. These are my daily shoes that I wear to work every day. And as you can see, the brace is so low profile that it slips right into my shoe. And of course, now the walking test, just to confirm how comfortable it is. This really was an awesome experience being able to do this with my dad and to get a new brace out of it. Thank you guys for coming along the journey, and I look forward to many more videos.